This Quinn Ewers, he must be pretty good. He's got a lot of ones next to his name, state, national position, everything that goes along with that. So we obviously know he's talented. But in watching the tape and then also seeing the scouting reports and the people that you guys trust as hardcore football guys that evaluate at that level, are there comparisons to anyone? What makes him so special?
I've seen people talk about comparing him to Trevor Lawrence and the accuracy and things like that, but they're different sized guys. Lawrence is the big, 6'6" lanky guy, whereas Quinn Ewers is more people sized and 6'2", 6'3", something like that. What I think was maybe the most impressive thing he did this year is he was hurt and he came back at missed a few games and wasn't healthy for the playoffs, but still fought to get in there and play and played well. And I think threw a few interceptions in the maybe the championship game or the semifinal game, but still kept fighting and showed you the kind of determination and toughness at quarterback that Urban Meyer loved and Ryan Day loves. And so the accuracy is definitely there. For me, like I watch him and I'm just like, he hardly ever steps into a throw, and a lot of it is he's just flipping stuff, and it still ends up where it's supposed to go. He just doesn't seem, for me. I'm not a quarterback whisperer or anything like that. He just doesn't seem as mechanical as some of the guys that the scouts really, really like, and it's like he doesn't remind me of Trevor Lawrence because he throws differently, and he's off of his back foot a lot and running around, and I'm surprised that he is ranked so high based on what I've seen, but that he does so many different things that he still gets the job done. He's just not like the prototype robot that garners the 5-star rankings. I guess it's just because of the ball ends up where it's supposed to be one way or the other with him.
It's the old don't tell me about the labor, just show me the baby. I mean, he shows you the baby all the time. He gets it done, and just makes you wonder that if once he gets to a college program, Ohio State, once he gets to Ohio State, will when they refine some things, I mean, is that going to just raise the ceiling that much more for him? I mean, how much higher can the ceiling go in terms of production? Because Tony's right. He doesn't come out there and have just that cookie cutter, robotic quarterback type of thing about him. I mean, he makes plays. I mean, he can make the deep throw, but I mean, he does a lot of stuff where he hits a lot of underneath. I think there's a lot of stuff where he would be very excited to have Ohio State's complement of receivers who are so good once they get the ball in their hands and after the catch, being able to pick up the yardage. I've talked to a couple of people down there about him, and they've said the same thing, that, yeah, maybe he's not the most technique guy in terms of what the textbook says, but, it's really hard to go against the type of results. And as Tony said, he's just truly a gamer. The way that he came out there, competed at certainly less than 100%, and nearly willed his team to a state championship over there at South Lake Carroll.
Yeah, I think that as Urban Meyer was looking at quarterbacks, one of the biggest attributes he always looked for was leadership and intangibles, because he figured he could help, coach some of the other things and bring the talent out of a player. But if a guy isn't a naturally born leader, that makes it much more difficult to get that out of him. So this kid seems like he's got those kind of intangibles, as you guys said, played when he was hurt, came back from an injury, got his team to the state championship game in what was a prolonged season all the way into January because of COVID. And, again, good size, 6'3". He'll probably be in that 6'4", 215 range by the time he gets to college, you would think, if he continues to fill out a little bit. Very easy delivery, like Tony said. He at times he varies the arm angle and he just makes plays. He gets the ball out there. He improvises. He has some imagination about him, which I think is important. And yet, you don't want to have that lead you down the primrose path to making bad plays and interceptions. So I think he's got a lot of material and a lot of things to him, and a lot of skills that the Ohio State coaches, Ryan Day, Corey Dennis, Kevin Wilson, will be eager to get their hands on him and throw him into that blender. I mean, he's coming in. Theoretically, if nothing changes, there'll be 3 upperclassmen in front of him, although you have to wonder by the fall of 2022, would one of those guys have already exited stage left for greener pastures via the transfer portal to go play somewhere else. But at any rate, competition is going to be stiff to play quarterback at Ohio State, and that's how you want it to be. I mean, Ryan Day, this is the best of the best at Ohio State. So I think that is something that Ewers has signed up for, and he's coming all the way up from Texas, and we'll see how he does when he gets to Ohio State. But that's a long way off in the future. He wouldn't arrive at Ohio State till June of 2022, which is still 15 months off into the future. Rather, I guess he would come in January if he enrolled early, which is still 10 months away.